law, well, then you will have to sit on the right side or wrong side of history of what you believe. So you think I should wear a mask too, right? Like they arrested me last week for not wearing a mask, and next is vaccination, and next is I lose all my rights. I'm not buying it, sir.
I don't care about masks or vaccination.
Well, yeah, but you will soon when it becomes the law.
They make you do it. Are you going to do it?
No.
So then they'll make you.
I'm not getting vaccinated.
So they'll make you quit. They'll fire you.
Then I'll get fired.
Okay, well, you're a man of principles.
But I'm just saying, it's real easy.
It's not easy.
It is.
I'm giving up my rights.
No, it's not. To go through
want to give up your rights?
To go through screening.
You're a man, right? Underneath the uniform, you're a man, right?
How is going
Do
through?
you want to give up your rights?
How is going through a building screening giving up your rights?
It's a search and seizure, sir.
No, it's not.
It's a form of search, sir. You're searching for weapons. You're searching for weapons.
They don't want weapons. They don't want weapons in the.
It's lawful to have weapons, sir. We all have a right to bear arms, sir. You're trying to override
You
procedure.
have the right to bear arms, but if it's posted on a building, you cannot bear arms.
In a private building. This is not a private building. This is.
You cannot bear arms.
You can bear arms in Walmart, sir, because Walmart is accessible to the public. Even though it's a privately owned business, it's publicly accessible. Their policy,
If it's posted on the door, you cannot bear arms.
their policy cannot overwrite the law of the land, sir. They're subject to federal lawsuit.
No, if it's posted on the building, you cannot. You can't come in my house with a gun if I tell you.
Your house is private property, sir. It's not public. No, it's not. It's privately owned. It's a public accommodation under the UCC, sir. This is another misunderstanding that the majority of people have.
I've arrested people before.
I'm sure you have because
And it went through. It didn't go to the Supreme Court.
Because they didn't take it there. Because they didn't take it there, sir. The majority of people don't have an understanding of the difference between policy, statutes, and codes and the law of the land, which is codified in the Constitution and upheld by the federal courts. These are municipal courts. They're dictatorial. They're advisory based on the consent of the government.
So this is.
And I appreciate you having this dialogue because it shows that you care and you are a real man, unlike some other individuals we have here.
We do have the Constitution, and that gives us a broad spectrum of
Sure.
how the country's supposed to.
And everything is pursuant to that, right?
Law of the land.
No, wait. States have the right to govern themselves.
Yeah, it's just.
Do you want the federal government to control absolutely everything that you do?
No, and I also don't want state governments either.
Then the states, they're not going against federal law. They're being more stringent. Okay.
That's going against.
No,
federal
no,
law.
it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Sure, it's very simple.
Okay,
Very
so
simple.
like Denver used to say that you can't carry a firearm in your vehicle that's loaded, right? That got challenged in the courts. And they got overturned. It was deemed unconstitutional. You have the right to protect yourself, right? They didn't overturn. They didn't overturn that you can open carry in Denver.
Just because they didn't overturn it does not mean it's law, sir. This is all people's beliefs. This is beliefs. None of it is legitimate, sir.
No, that's actually a law. That's I can charge you criminally for open carry. It's unlawful carry, so I can actually charge you criminally.
But isn't that against the Constitution?
No, it's not, because you have to lawfully go get a CCW. That's your right. You can carry a gun.
You have a right.
We're not telling you.
So you're legislating
We're
rights.
not telling you.
You're telling me I have to pay for my right. You have to go and get a
That's
CCC.
what tax.
Yeah, it's called commercial. No, but that's an agreement.
You have.
You're not given by
You
man.
have. Hey,
W-2, W-9 is a contract, sir. Men and women do not have to pay taxes. The first page of the code says taxation is voluntary, sir.
You have to pay. You have to pay to possess an automatic weapon. It's the same thing.
Do you have to pay to possess weapons?
To possess an automatic weapon, yes, I have to pay for tax.
Because you're an agent and agency, and all statutes, policies, and codes only apply to agent and agency.
If it's owned by the department, yes. If it's owned personally, no. You have to pay for it.
Sir, it's private property. Anything we own that's proper to us is private property. And legislating,
That's been passed through the city and county. It's through the legislator. It actually is a law. I can charge you criminally for it.
But our rights do not come from you. That's where you don't. That's where you miss.
rights come from God, sir.
No, they come from legislation.
No, they don't, sir. It says in the Constitution,
Okay, where does it say in the Bible that you have the right to possess a firearm?
I'm not quoting the Bible for where I get my laws. However, the Bible does say, trust in the system, however, don't sell your sword.
Okay, but you're telling me right now that it says in the Bible that you can carry a firearm. You keep telling me that we're
Sir, I'm a man. I have a right to defend myself with whatever means I believe to be necessary. Until you have reason to believe that I'm in the commission of a crime, I'm guilty till proven innocent.
Don't tell me the Bible says that.
I don't need the Bible to say that.
You
My
say-
common sense and my
you say you're
conscience.
governed by God, and that you're a
God, Bible's not the word of God. That's your interpretation.
no, it's not.
I never said the Bible was the exact word of God. It's the word of prophets 200 years after a man who we have no historicity of.
I'm telling you right
That's
now.
what he brought up. I don't even know why you came over here, sir. We had a good conversation with this
I'm telling
man.
you right now, you
Underneath
can't.
that uniform is a man.
Right.
You have rights.
Right, but when you're in the uniform, you have more rights and abilities than the man you serve. That's the. He says yes. He says yes. He's so sick.
He says we have less.
Less. Well, yeah, you have duties, obligations, and responsibilities, and you're trying to project yours onto us. We don't have rights.
So I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States
Sure.
and the state of Colorado.
Sure, but one comes first and the other comes second. You're putting the cart before the horse, sir. Freedom from search and seizure, Fourth Amendment. Are you upholding that here today? No.
Am I
No.
searching you?
So this person's apparently not getting it. You didn't listen to anything that was just said. If you were operating a bank and you're a public entity and you're creating licensing with United States Corporation and subsidiaries, then yes, you are obliged to pay the tax. You're operating as a corporate entity according to them. I mean, I could argue it, but according to their system and their rules, once you opt in and take the licenses and set up a public edifice and work in public trust, then you have to kick up to U.S. corporation, right? There's public and private jurisdiction. So the same way that if I give somebody something through PayPal or Cash App and it's private transfer, it's not subject to taxation, right? So the problem is you got a bunch of folks working in the public and then want to say, well, I did what you said. And it turns out you do have to. Yeah, if you're contracting as a public entity, then they're going to expect the VIG from you. If you're working in the private, you're not subject to that. So you guys got to stop conflating the public and the private.
No. You want us to be searched to access the people's courthouse, which is, it's a right to bear arms. So it doesn't say, again, you refuse, you're indoctrinated and you're bought into the cult.
You cannot take the gun into the courthouse.
Sure. Like I said, you have municipal revised statute, which is written by men week to week. I have hundreds of year old Supreme Court decisions that are current up until 1960. You're not interested in the truth.
Go to the federal courthouse. Plus, I'm going to write up another thing about this woman right here. How she's trespassing upon my rights.
Well, you may as well get all these individuals' names because they're saying right now on record. No, they haven't, but they're saying on record, we need to get their dereliction of duty in line because they're saying policy overrides the law of the land.
Well, that's the thing, Mr. Son. You, like everyone around you, doesn't understand legal versus lawful and continues to contract into the public with public entities, different commercial entities. So you act like, okay, I'll go this way with it. According to you, there's no jobs that are private. There's no jobs out there that exist that you can't work and get paid off the books, so to speak, which is direct compensation in the private. That doesn't exist. Maybe it doesn't exist in your world, but for the rest of us, we're well aware of private interactions where folks will hire you to work in the private. It's called a private practice as well. Have you ever heard of that? You ever heard of like a doctor, a chiropractor, someone like that having a private practice? Pretty much creating a private member association, you know, charging people $20 at the door, signing a piece of paper saying it's a public interaction, and seemingly keeping themselves out of the jurisdiction of the public and taxation. So yeah, I mean, again, when folks start to learn the law, what's true and what's right, then they'll start to work in the private with other private men and women instead of turning themselves and all their private property into public entities, including their house, their car, and everything else they say they own nowadays. See how that works?
That's an issue.
Did you get his name?
The law of the land is freedom from search and seizure to access to people's property. This is men and the Constitution, sir. The thing you swore to uphold, the Fourth Amendment, sir.
So then say the Constitution. Don't say the law of the land.
The Constitution is the law of the land, sir.
The Constitution is the Constitution.
The Constitution and the Declaration of Independence are the law of this land that are backed by the Supreme Court. They uphold God's law, sir.
Can I tell you something that I'm observing?
I didn't ask you for what you observed, sir. You already gave me an attitude and ego. This man has been respectful.
There we go. Another retarded fucking statement he just made. It's like, you know, you just go and search Cornell University, law of the land, due process of law. Law of the land is synonymous with due process of law. For example, the Constitution of North Carolina. No person shall be deprived of his life, liberty, property. Yeah. So he's another 10, 15, 20-year agent who is confused by my verbiage, right? My descriptors. Yet, if you go right to Cornell University, it says right there, top law school on the land, just like it says if you go to consent to the governed, Cornell will elucidate for you that each and every man and woman has to consent to governance. You can't vote in these slaves and have 60% of folks vote the other 40% to slavery and use statute, policy, and code to take everybody's fucking rights, do contract fraud. So, you want to talk down to me like I'm the dumbass. Turns out you're the dumbass. I oftentimes find that's true in life, right? So it is the law of the land. That is due process of law. It is the Constitution. And you folks think it's just nothingness. It just doesn't matter, right?
Honest, open. I don't need you to explain to me anything. Your explaining is enough, sir. I don't need you to explain to me. You're talking down to me. I can combine whatever I want because I'm a man. I'm fluid and dynamic. I'm not bound by the words of other men in this realm, sir. You're not my God, sir. You want to be. You desperately want to use your firearms and backup to dictate what I will do and won't do based on what other men wrote down. I don't follow the dictates of other men and women in this realm, sir. I have a conscience connected to the Most High. Because you have nothing of value to say, sir. I could look at you and read you and tell you have nothing of value to say, sir. All I'm doing is mumbling, and you're ignoring everything I'm saying because your heart is pumping, but you cannot. Okay, I think we're done here, sir. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate your.
We know our rights.
That's it.
Our rights are not going to be infringed upon. We have to be put in a cage, and so be it.
So let me.
And then we're going to hold the people that.
And then you're going to give us your house and boat. Then you're going to give us your house and boat. That's the bottom line. You think you can do whatever you want to do. You're not interested in the regulations. No. I'm threatening that any man, not you, sir.
You're going to take my house.
Any man or woman who interferes with our rights, I will take their house and boat.
How are you going to take my house?
I didn't say you. You have not interfered with my rights here today.
You come take my house.
Sir, please back away from me. I'm not talking about you personally.
Don't threaten me.
I didn't threaten you, sir. I said in the court of law,
I'm done with you.
in the court of law, listen,
Whoever, I come back here tomorrow.
government's going to take everybody's house and boat soon.
Puts hands on me and puts me in a cage. I will hold that person.
Don't change.
As a man.
Well, I'm
He's worried about me.
And there's no qualified immunity there either.
I'm telling you what's going to happen.
If I'm advising you right
And
now.
I'm not threatening you.
That's fine. If I'm advising you. I'm advising you right now. If you come back and you go through proper procedures, we're going to be directed to arrest you, and you are going to go to jail.
And if you follow those directives, we're going to take you to federal court as an individual man, not as an agent or agency. You will be held liable for interference of rights.
No, I'm not violating your rights. I'm telling you, you're more than welcome to come and obtain the documents that you want.
Under your condition.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're our God and our rights come from you, and you're going to dictate with weapons what we do. And this man's going to shake his head because policy and procedure overrides law, and we're the idiots here. We're the idiots. Well, we'll see, sir. When they require you all to have vaccinations en masse and continue to slave everybody up, we'll see how you feel about what we're doing here in about 5 or 10 years. What does that do anything? It's because the corporate entities in this country are overriding law, and everybody's being subject to.
Stop.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you don't want to hear it. Every time
An overload.
he turns away and walks away.
His brain overloaded. He can only take so much information at
I'm
once.
not barking. You gave me ego, sir. I would talk to you if you were respectful to me. Okay, sure, no problem. I apologize because no, you have to understand, sir. This is not personal to me and you. I've dealt with this for months and months. I've been put in a cage over and over again for trying to uphold my rights. I have the case law. I have the Supreme Court. I'm tired of it. It's got nothing to do with you. I'm tired of guys with ego and attitude who think that their booklets override my God-given free choice and rights. I'm tired of it.
No, so you're thinking that the laws that we have in place here is trying to infringe on our rights?
Absolutely they are.
Why do you feel that way?
Because we have a Fourth Amendment freedom from search and seizure. Trying to search me to enter the people's courthouse is a violation of my rights. Trying to overthrow the law of the land for policy and procedure.
Why do you think these security measures are in place?
I'm not asking why they're in place. See, this is the jump everyone does. Your feelings don't matter to me.
My feelings.
I have a right to bear arms. I have a right to freedom from search and seizure. Just because everyone's scared and wants to make everyone guilty till proven innocent does not overthrow my rights.
No, there's a.
I know there's a reason.
In having security.
Sure, but the fine line is our rights. When you cross that fine line, you're wrong.
Right.
That's why they're called rights, because when you cross them, you're wrong.
So listen, when somebody gets arrested and then they get searched, are you violating their rights?
If they're engaged in a crime which is defined by loss, injury, harm taking place, or a breach of a contract, absolutely not.
So, what? So if you're trespassing, aren't you breaking the law?
No. The owner never asked me to leave here, and I'm not trespassing. I'm refusing to be subjected to.
Why do you think we're here?
You're here because they have a belief that policies, procedures, codes, rules.
Is trespassing a law? Is it a law violation?
If the owner asks you to leave, and you refuse to leave. The owner of this building never asked me to leave. The individual who's in legal control asked me to leave, and that's.
No, you're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back.
And what's that for, sir?
Put your hands behind your back.
Man, this guy gets it, but he still got arrested, folks. I guess that means the police don't get it. Go subscribe to It's Paul and Slave. Let them know San Joaquin sent you guys.
Yeah, they don't want to get it. It's more profitable to continue business as usual and embarrass yourself and your lineage and throw away your future generations. Your thoughts, Peanut Power and others?
I thought you did a great job, man. I honestly believe if the other guy wasn't around, he probably would have listened to you. Sounds like he really was trying, but yeah, I think you did a great job.
Yeah, it seems to me they're all mind and heart controlled. You know, they say the Constitution's not the law of the land.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, in essence, it's not. The law of the land is codified and protected by the Constitution. But again, it's like they just, you know, this is the by and large the majority of the public and civil servants at this point just don't care about what's true and what's right. They just have some half-assed, lukewarm, weak-ass explanation of how things work and who they are, and it doesn't hold water. So, hey, if they're okay with it, I'm okay with it. They got to live it. Go ahead, Jack.
Hey, sorry, I stepped away for just a moment there. Oh, dude, I wonder a few things. Their brains did overload. You communicated accurately, truthfully, everything, man. It was beautiful. It's an education. And a thought I came to, their brain did overload at that time. I wonder if those officers ever went back and saw what is publicly available for them to find.
Well, the best part is they never even arrested me and charged me with trespassing. They charged me with unlawful activity. Well, another spurious and obscured legal, non-legal claim, right? Like if anything, it's illegal activity. It's not unlawful. I didn't cause any loss, injury, and harm.
Nope.
You know, so they just conflate legal and lawful constantly. They go, you're trespassing. And they arrest you and charge you with something completely different because they know what the fuck I said was true. So I was right. It didn't matter. Right? We're just going to arrest you and charge you with something so you know we're in charge. That's all it's about. It's fucking power games.
Their beliefs were challenged. That's what was shown to me when I was dealing with the attorneys and the postal inspectors and all these managers and bosses. Fucking nonsense, man. The ego, I think it's God's silly game, man. The world we live in, Paul, it's literally nuts. It really is.
The indoctrination has worked.
What's that?
The indoctrination has definitely worked. They're successful. They've done a good. I mean, obviously, they've done a great job at it. You
Slaves will learn to love their servitude and their slavery. We're pretty much complete.
It was money well spent. They were good and wise investments, you know, the Rockefellers and such.
Exactly.
It's fucking brilliant. You got to give them credit, man. They built the systems, they bought the systems, and people are willingly going along. But hey, I have this confirmation. We are the solution this world has been waiting for. It's happening with us, through us. Men like Paul, me, many others, man. The world is coming together, and it's going to be, it'll be mind-blowing.
Sounds sexy. All right, I'm going to move on. I got a pig creature administrator here, magistrate, I believe from Kansas. Just looks like Slow State's mama. I'm sure raised him. Let's go to that. Let's go to the courthouse activity with this crew. This is some courthouse crew over there. It's never a dull moment.
Everyone, hold on. I think I'm still in charge of this courtroom.
Obviously, and you obviously like it too.
We are here on 2023 CR 157, 24 CR 56, 24 CR 57, and 24 CR 96. Each of the four captioned State of Kansas versus Antonio Manuel Perez Beal. Please announce appearances.
May it please the court, Mary Ann Shirley, Special Prosecutor, on behalf of Ms. Gillette, today only.
Okay.
William McClendon for the defendant, Anthony Beal. It appears via Zoom from a separate location.
Any announcements at this time, Mr. McClendon?
Your Honor, I'd like to set these for a prelim. One of those cases is a misdemeanor only, and we were just kind of tagging it along because of there's so many of them. But I think either one long prelim or 3 separate prelims, but I don't want them to be ran together because they're kind of factually different. Each case is.
Some of them have different victims alleged, yes. But now, Mr. Beal, didn't you have, I was thinking we had something else with you on my calendar coming up, or that we'd just.
That's a different issue. It's a divorce between him and his wife, which is being, well, they're not getting divorced anymore, but that's another issue for another later on.
That's not where I was seeing it that I recall. Missy, did you remember any other criminal cases?
No, Judge, just these that are on the docket today.
Okay, well, that's more than enough.
Now, the felony in the first case, 23 CR 157, is allegedly aggravated assault on his, I believe it's his father-in-law.
Okay.
The witnesses are the same in that, for the most part, and 24 CR 96, wherein the felony is his wife, who is also a witness in 23 CR 157.
They're supposed to be having no contact in these cases as a condition of bond, right?
Yes, Your Honor, and that was something I was also wanting to address today.
Missy, how do you want to set these? Giving him a separate prelim for each one.
I have June 28th available in the afternoon.
The whole afternoon.
I do have it available.
Starting at what time?
At 1 or 1:30, if ever we need to start it at.
Let's make it 1:15. These are all set, but we need to also be taking care of that misdemeanor because that's 4 counts of violation of a protection order. So I don't want that to get lost in the shuffle.
Right.
Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll reserve the whole day for prelims. We'll do one after the other.
Starting at 1:30?
1:15.
1:15.
1:15, okay.
And you said there was something else you wanted to address?
Your Honor, my how do I do this without incriminating my client? Your Honor, he would like to be let off bond, or have the no contact order with his wife dropped, so that they can pursue couples therapy. They have a counselor arranged. I had this information from his wife, who figured out who I was his attorney via the courthouse.
Actually, Your Honor, his wife did contact me also, indicating that she would like to have contact in the therapy, because they have children that they have to get along for, and she insists that Mr. Beal is a good father. He has some issues, but he's a good father. He's good to their children. She wants to be able to work with him, and she believes that the counseling will assist in that.
He's got an ag assault charge pending against her, an ag assault pending against his father-in-law, 4 counts of violating a protection order against her.
The aggravated assault against her. It's against complicated situation, but it's not against her.
All right, well, I'll just look at him in 56. Violation of protection from abuse order. And she is listed as the victim in each of these, is she not? I'm not saying that she is or that the charges are right, but let me look at that.
It just says that it's a violation of the protective order. It looks like,
Okay.
it looks like on December 24th, he sent a text to his wife. On December 25th, he sent a text to his wife. It doesn't appear that there were any, these were texts, these were not in-person kind of threatening situations, Your Honor.
Telephone or text, but that's still a violation when you're told no contact. Now then, let's look at the other one, 57, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and reckless driving.
The victim there appears to be a Jared Everly.
Is that her father?
No, her father's Mr. Simon, I believe.
All right, there's a Jared Everly where he was allegedly put in reasonable apprehension of immediate bodily harm with the deadly weapon, to wit, a truck. And then there's a reckless driving. 96, criminal damage to property of felony. I believe that is his wife's telephone, if I remember correctly.
That's correct,
Yes,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor.
And then a domestic battery. I presume she's the victim. It's in violation of a protective order and criminal trespass. And that was in March of 24. And that brings us down to the other 157. That one dates back.
Jack, this is boring you. I can tell. I'm just going to move on because I just wanted to see the kid yell at the pig creature. Somewhere in there, he yells at her. And that's what I was really going for. And it's like, it's a lot to get to the payoff.
I was wondering what's her fucking point. Where was she going with all that? I thought one of the attorneys brought up something about therapy. And
well, they want them to go to therapy. They just can't talk to each other while they're there.
Holy cow. Man,
It's the kind of therapy I'm into. when things go wrong in a relationship, I go, yeah, let's go to therapy. We're never going to see each other. It's going to go great.
Dude, the therapy in this nation anyway, it's fucking,
I got something better than therapy, Jack Talcott. Get a load of this.
At about milepost.
Governance.
221. 2312. He's going to go ahead and take off from us. We're in this. Got a pursuit going southbound.
How do you help them in Park?
9010, let Eugene Springfield know so I can cover it if it goes to the city.
Do it. 312 is being redirected on the freeway. Turn around, pin him. Turn around and pin him. Fired! He's fired! He's fired! .2312 shots fired at me. I'm good, I think. We're back in this southbound. Watch your crossfire, watch your crossfire. Get behind hard cover! Get behind hard cover!
Right as I got out.
Put your hands up!
I'm pretty sure. I heard it. Yeah, so you see the gun in there? No, he was on his phone. I could see him on his phone. And he put his phone down, and then I heard that shot. It was like pretty close. Okay, shield. All right. Shield. Why don't you run a shield team with a rifle?
Hey. Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Hands up! Yep. Hands up! Let me get somebody to stop traffic northbound. Get your hands up!
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so apparently that was an ex-policeman. Took off with the kid. They're saying he killed the wife and the ex-girlfriend. Or the girlfriend and the ex-wife.
He'll probably get paid leave.
This world breaks my heart, man. It really does.
I'm sorry, Tuck. I didn't mean to upset you.
No. This is a reality, you know? It's the world we live in. This shit is crazy.
Even more the reason to put those guys in check. I mean, they put their, you know, their cape suit on and they just become like so big-headed and think that they just can control and dictate and just ruin lives. And there's so much. They're human just like we are. You know, I have bad days at the office. I know I'm a dick. You know, so I know that they're going to go to their day at the office and be a dick as well. And they just get off so easy. It sucks.
And that's just it. Good day or bad, these people.
I have no love lost for any of them. I really don't. If I see something bad with a cop, I'm like, oh well. I've gotten that cold with them. I don't care. I just don't care. Go to jail.
Honestly, I've been trying to. It's been a while. It's honestly been a while. But I was trying to find a way to communicate with the local sheriff. I mean, I'd seen him around at a few different meetings and stuff, and I was hoping to bring some ideas to him about what's going on.
Timmy's apparently on his way up to address you, Jack. He's got a beef with you.
Oh, good.
I got to thank Julian. He said, thanks, Paul. Appreciate you, Mr. Julian Barbary. Yeah, go ahead, Timmy C. Get up here. I'm almost feeling complete. I have a headache. My body's aching. I have flu-like symptoms. Hopefully, Timmy the Jew can come through for me as my co-host. Settle his beef with Jack Talcott.
I trust that we can. I don't think we have any beefs, actually, anyway. I don't have beefs with anyone.
All right, I'm going to go Carl Lentz pretty much for the last hour. Kind of lean on it. Just because I'm kind of out of steam today.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I got a Carl Lentz phone calls and interactions about common law and kind of how to handle court cases and various things. So I'm pretty much going to lean on that for the majority of the last hour. If Timmy wants to come up, I think he's on his way. Nah, he says it's 4:20 here. All right, it's not happening.
Paul, I'm going to hop out anyway.
All right, you want to give a final word to the people?
Don't forget to do the like and share so that others realize that this is life changing. Learning that you're free and that you don't have to obey the authority and to be wise. Hey, thank you. Leaving appreciation.
Thank you, Jack. Timmy really upset down there at Jack Talcott for some reason. All right, I'm gonna go to Carl Lentz at some point. If you want to stop it or you want to come on up and comment or you got something else you want to get into, let me know. If not, we'll pretty much ride out with that.
At blah, 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 and let me know that you're in receipt of this letter. I wish you well. God bless. And the man's name is Joe. I said, good. That's the second follow-up letter. That's good. It's not exactly the way I'd write it, but you know what? The man's going to get the gist of it. Did I send you a letter? What? You sent him a letter, cute? What letter did you send him? But you know what I'm saying. It's good enough. Yeah. But then the next letter, the third letter to me is insane. So the third letter was, I am asking you, man to man, do you believe I'm guilty of doing something wrong? Regards, Joe. I said, holy shit. I said, you do not fucking send that. And I'm saying to myself, oh my God. And I just said, laugh online, LOL. No, we will need to talk about this letter. And then and then he tried to call me and I said, sorry, I'm busy. I'll call you back later. And he said, okay.
I don't know.
So like I said, he's getting the letter. He's going to understand what I'm trying to say about you got to write letters back and forth. But when he got to the third letter, he's calling a guy out. You don't call nobody out. He's like, that sounds kind of threatening. Are you trying to tell me I did something wrong? You know, I was like, no, dude, that's all right. That's all right. You know, the guy's just doing his fucking job. He's the prosecutor. He's not fucking saying anybody that ain't fucking wrong. You don't fucking talk to him like that. But like I said, he just sent it to me today and I haven't had time to respond back yet. How he should modify that letter. And that's what I was saying to the guy with the ankle bracelet on. He ordered.
I swear I just heard him a little while ago.
Off, and he goes back to the state of being he was before the ankle bracelet was on. I said, dude,
I swear I heard him.
You begged them to put that ankle bracelet on. There is no other man's name. Dude, I don't even see the United States government's name. I don't see the U.S. Marshal Service name on it. I don't see anybody's name on there. On that wish to have that fucking ankle bracelet put up on your leg, except for yours. He says, no, it says right. Dude, I read the damn thing. Don't try to bullshit me. I read it. They said, they didn't say anything, dude. You said you wanted it on your leg as a term and condition of your release. You said it, not them.
Mm-hmm. He probably never read it, so you're right.
No, he did read it, but you guys read this shit and you think they're saying it. Wow. You're saying it. They don't have a vocal cords. They don't have ears. They don't have a conscience. They don't have a soul. They have nothing. They're not saying shit. You think that's what it says. Did anybody stand in court and tell you that that's what it says? No. Did you ask anybody? No. Did anybody tell you fucking put it in a form of writing and sign it, or do you put that ankle bracelet on you? No. Then you did it with your own free will, because you wanted to get out of jail. So guess what's going to happen, asshole? You ordering them to take this off your ankle, and you want to be, you know, now for then. What's that? You wanted to go back to
non-Trump. Yes. You
wanted to go back to the way it was. I said, guess what's going to happen? Where were you the minute that you signed it? You weren't sitting in a federal prison somewhere with without an ankle bracelet. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to put you right back in the fucking prison without the ankle bracelet. I said, dude, what you're supposed to do if you want to do this Rod Class bullshit is you don't do a non-tongue because he thinks he's using his fancy fucking words. What you're supposed to fucking do is make a modification of the agreement.
Yes.
And you could say, well, you know what? Thank you for putting this ankle bracelet on me. It's a lovely ankle bracelet. I'm sure it costs a lot of money and a lot of research and development to do such a fucking wonderful product. The only problem was at the time was I wanted to go home and see my family, and I was in terms and conditions of release. Now that I look back at it, I realize this hurts my ankle. And I realize this glorious fucking government would never want to do anything to cause harm to man. Can you please come up with an alternative solution that way we could use a product that would not be a detriment to man? Thank you, kind regards. God bless you all. Have a blessed day. Why couldn't you fucking write that? Why'd you use this fucking Rod Class threatening fucking extortion bullshit on U.S. Marshals? What are you fucking mind? And I said, I know the U.S. Marshals are listening to the show. I said, I know the United States government's listening to this show. Look, guys, if you want to pick this fucking clown up, do it. I am not coming back to Indiana to fucking bail his ass out. And the next day, his wife was like, boom, she said, pick him up, yeah. I told you, they would come up. I said, you don't threaten U.S. Marshals. You don't threaten the fucking judges. You don't threaten these people. Or you don't threaten the persons. You don't do it.
Yep.
You look insane.
Yep. And see,
and they granted his wish. I said, you can modify the terms and condition of the settlement. That you could do.
Right. But don't demand and don't put out orders.
If you don't fucking, dude, nobody fucking put that on you but you. You're trying to say they put this on you. They didn't put it on you, dude. I read the fucking terms of the condition of your release. You put it on you.
Yep.
He says, no, dude. I said, look, I don't know what the fuck Rod Class read. I don't know what the fuck you read. I don't know if your eyesight and his eyesight don't read what my brain picks up when I read something, but I'm telling you, it's not there. I said, look, I don't know if I'm super smart and I see things the different way, or I'm so Neanderthal and so back to basic and so simple that I don't put things there that don't exist. I just see black and white. I don't know where you're manifesting all this imaginary shit. I said, maybe I'm too simple. Maybe I'm too stupid. Maybe I'm too fucking caveman. I don't see where it says that. Where do you see it? How do you guys come up with this crazy shit?
Right.
You guys have some very fucking imagination because it's not there. I said, I guess I'm kind of blessed that I don't have that kind of fucking imagination. Like, we're colorful. Women say, oh, let's make it blue. Let's make it purple. Let's make it green today. Oh, then tomorrow's going to be orange, yellow, and fucking pink. Me, I said, look, just paint it black, paint it white. I got tons of it. Just fucking paint it black and white. Let's get on with the day. I got time for this shit. Well, you know, maybe with some chartreuse. What the fuck's a chartreuse? Get the fuck out. Just paint that damn thing black or white and let's get on with the day.
Exactly.
It's like Henry Ford used to say, you could get a fucking Model T in any color as long as it's black. That's an actual quote from him.
Yeah, I would doubt it.
Model Ts come in any color you wish as long as your color is black. There you go.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because look, he just considered it a tool to go from point A to point B.
Right.
Not a status symbol, not an ornament, not some ornate, not some flamboyant. A tool to go from here to there.
Yep.
See, when you is like, well, why accessorize it? Do what? Paint it red. What? The black works just fine.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we paint it red and charge more money? It's like, that's ridiculous. Why don't we just put chrome fucking rims on it and charge them 10 times as much? Well, yeah, you think we should do that? No, I don't think you should do that. People should spend their money on things like food and clothing for their children, not chrome fucking hubcaps. No, just paint the damn thing black. It's a tool, not a status symbol. It's a tool to help man go from here to there, to help every man on planet Earth go from here to there. That's it. And that's all I tell people. Look, I'm not showing you the chrome, the fucking glitter. Look, this is black and white. This is what you need to do. Boom, be fucking done and go find something else to do with your wife and kids. Like this Credit Commerce was telling people to spend 3 months there at their boot camp or whatever. Come back every now and then for more accreditation. It's more fucking... Dude. I teach people how to get in and the fuck out of court as fast as possible so you go back home with your wife and kids and fucking do some work that God fucking put you on earth to do. Not to be tangling with fucking a legal society.
And I know you can attest, and I can attest the same thing. Using the lawyers, all it does is stretch years and years and years, going back and forth, battling over nothing. Same thing. It's like, can we move forward? You know, but you're right.
Their money is billable hours.
Yep.
Now, me, I want to charge people. Did I get the case done for you? Yes. Did I do a job? Yes. Was it done? Like I said, I've been a contractor for almost my whole entire life. I hardly ever punched the time clock in my whole entire life since I was a kid. Everything else, I'm a contractor. And a contractor knows unless 100% of the job is done and complete, he doesn't get a fucking dime.
Right.
That's it. 99% of the job does not get you the paycheck.
That's right.
They don't give you, they don't give, it's like, well, I built a swimming pool and look at all this work and tiles and everything else I did in the swimming pool. But every time we fill it up with water, it leaks out the next day. So give me all the money you owe me. They'll say, no, that's ridiculous. It's like, there must be something wrong with the pool. It's like, I don't know, you see a crack anywhere? And the lady say, no, I don't see no cracks anywhere. But all I know is when we put water in it, the next day it's empty. Something's wrong. Well, show me the crack. I don't know, I can't see no fucking crack, but all I know, man, is the pool's empty. I'm not giving you shit. I don't know what the fuck is wrong, but I'm not giving you anything. It's like, oh, you got it because I did the fucking job. Look, it's a beautiful looking pool. Yeah, beautiful looking pool, but does it function? Does it work? Well, it looks like a pool. But if it doesn't hold water, guess what? It's not a pool, so I'll have to pay for a pool.
Right.
Right, and that's how contractors understand the realities in life. If it doesn't work, you don't get paid.
Yep.
And lawyers billable hours.
Yeah, and and we know because they have billable hours that they don't care whose side takes the longest, whose side needs a continuance, whose side didn't get the paperwork in. Who cares? I'll go back and we'll go another day, $275 an hour, so I can come into court and say, what, continuance? Sure, okay, next month, see you again.
Yeah, they're in no hurry.
Yeah, no,
they're happy if they get one client that'll take up the whole entire year, as long as that client's got money.
Yeah, as long as he's paying, sure, exactly.
You don't have to chase another ambulance to look for another victim.
Yeah,
they got one that's on a hook, and this guy's got money. We'll ride this fucking guy for a year or two. And like I tell people all the time, I was like, look, I got some friends who are attorneys, and they told me this fucking scam. Just like that attorney, that's like John Wilkinson Jr., the court clerk, the public court clerk down there for Alabama, the Supreme Court down there.
Yeah.
He said the same thing. The attorneys told me the same thing. It's like, look, we just look for billable hours. And it's like, look,
right.
Well, if there's a man suing another man, we're going to let the poor man win. And then the fucking rich guy could say, wait a second, attorney, why didn't you put this into exhibit? Why didn't you put this into evidence? Why didn't you bring this up into the court at the time? It's like, oh, don't worry about it. We're going to win on appeal. You know, I just saved that for an appeal just in case. And yeah, we're going to have to use that now. So yeah, well, I'll put that evidence into the court now. What we'll do is do an appeal. We'll come back. We'll win the appeal. And the appeal will say, go back to the court of original jurisdiction and retry this case. So they're going to keep retrying the case until the rich guy runs out of money. Right. We're going to milk this guy for everything he's fucking got. And I said, it was funny. I told the guy in Modesto, California, who calls me up every now and then. He lays bricks for a living. He's got a bricklaying company and tile company. I said, look, in Modesto, what do they got? 2, 3 tile companies, 2, 3 brick. I said Modesto is probably not that big. So how many competitors do you really have? He said, not that many. Right. So if you see a big company come to town, like say Cisco or Microsoft or somebody, and there's bidding, and in Modesto you have to have a permit to lay bricks, right? You got to be incorporated with the city. You got to get fucking chartered. You got to have a permit, right? You said, yeah. So, right. Yeah. So 3 or 4 years get together and you say, look, nobody bid under $1 million. Nobody. You let me win this one and, you could all come in and help as subcontractors, but let me win the bid. And you said there's plenty of work for all of us. But, I'll put it up for $1 million and we'll all share the money. Because honestly, and I know, it's only a $100,000 job. But Microsoft don't know it. Cisco doesn't know it. And we monopolize this county, so we monopolize this city. So guess what? Whatever bid we put up, they have to accept, or they're not going to get the building built. Or they're going to have to look at another city. So let's just agree $1 million, and we all jump in and we all do the work together. They're like, okay. I said, that's what lawyers do. They all sit around and make an agreement. They already know what the outcome is going to be before you walk into the courtroom, before the parties walk in. The judges and the attorneys already made all their backdoor deals, right, with each other. Right. So when you walk in, it's wow. They're like, wow, that was quick. How did that? What the fuck happened? It's like, we talked. I said, what do you mean you talked in chambers? What are you talking about? You mean the judge already knew what was going on before you? Oh, that's right, that's fine. We already talked and we already got it worked out in chambers. We already settled it. Yep. I said, well, what about the trial? What about the witnesses? What about that? Don't worry about it.
I had that happen in my case where my lawyer that I had hired was talking to the other side, making deals, and wasn't telling me.
Yeah.
So when I ended up firing her and asking her for all the paperwork, I'm getting all these letters that they were sending back and forth. I'm like, what the hell is this? And here you think they're representing you. Yeah. They have no interest in you at all.
Nope. They're going to bill hours. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just a game. It's just like I said, look, you bricklayers fucking do it, right? He's like, yeah, well, we do it too. I said, what makes you think lawyers don't do it? Yeah. I said, if bricklayers do it in a little town called Modesto, what makes you think attorneys don't do it worldwide? Yep. I said, what? Do you think, why shouldn't they do it? Because they know that they're only game in town. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Go get an attorney and sue the other attorney?
Exactly, because as well as I do, you try to enter into their playing field, you don't have that card, forget it. Forget it. And that's exactly what that judge in Ohio was saying. You don't have our playing card, you can't come into play. Sorry. No admittance.
If you folks know you're the only game in town and you're going to monopolize the only courthouse in town, and you're going to control it basically 100% of the time, obviously the anything that gets moved in and out of there is going to be by the blessings of the court clerk. And like I said earlier, the court clerk should stop you from trying to put any legalese nonsense into somebody else's legal case file. It's like, look, this attorney for the other side, created all these legal documents, and he put it in his case, and it's beautiful. Leave his case and his suit and his documents alone. Don't put your dirty trash, what you think is legalese, into that man's case. Leave it alone. And like I said, I don't know if you went to my website and saw that, where the judge said, he made numerous legal conclusions, and, but I don't see anywhere where they're, registered or licensed to the state of Ohio to act as an attorney.
No, but I haven't seen it on the website, but I heard you talking about that. And like I said, that tells it all right there.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how if you do have access to the internet, just go to broadmind.org and check it out.
Sure, I will. Sure, I will, because I've done the same thing.
Yeah, because I say that to people all the time. So when I went to court one time back in 2003, 2005, I had the codes down perfect. And when I went to court, everybody was snickering and laughing at me. And so what's so funny? They said, like, you're a Vietnam vet with VD? I said, no. What are you talking about? I said, good. And they just started laughing. So when I went home, I checked the codes, and they switched like Title 26 to Title 15, and 15 and Title 26 just disappeared altogether, whatever. You know, they got rid of a couple of title codes, and they codified it into a shorter, condensed version of the codes. And I was complaining like I was a Vietnam vet, complaining that I got like fucking a clap from a Hong Kong hall while I was over in Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
And I was looking for state benefits. And that's why because they knew how I was coming into the court. And these people are smart enough to go to the legislators and said, oh, we need you to change a couple of your fucking codes. What's that? It's like, yeah, can you just change this to this and this to this? Why? Because there's some clown who's going to fucking clean our clock in court. So we want to just fucking totally destroy his complaint against us, his motion against us. We want to make it look totally frivolous and ridiculous so he can never put another one into the court because he's a complete moron. So when they did that to me, I looked like a complete fucking moron. It's like, what title are you fucking quoting? Title 26? Section what? 103? 103. Really? And you do know you're in family court, right? Oh, yes, absolutely, sir, because Title 26 clearly establishes, you know, they have to have no, it doesn't, sir. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't, sir. I was there like January 5th, and they had a revision of the code like on January 1st, on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
December for a day of revision. They revised the code on January 1st. So when I got there January 5th, I looked like a total asshole.
Wow.
So when I got home, when I drove 600 miles fucking back home, flipped open a computer, said, what the fuck? I said, oh my God, they did not fucking do that to me, did they? I said, never again. I am never walking into a code world ever again. That's it. I am going to figure out a way to fucking teach man to never fucking walk into that code world again. Because it's fucking it's suicide.
It's a slap in the face to realize, but I'm glad that, you know, you did that because look what happened now. Everybody's starting to realize. Like you was insane. It's a code. How are you going to understand a code? I was in the military. We send coded messages all the time. Nobody can read them. Why? Because that's what it is. It's a code. You can't read it until somebody decodes it for you. And hopefully, if you have the code that's the right one for that day, at that time, and everything else, you'll be able to decipher the message. Otherwise, it's no good. It's junk. It's garble. Yeah. So, like you said, even though all the studying you've done, we've done, everybody's done, it does you no good because you still don't know exactly what this guy is trying to say, and they're going to change the code. And that's what we did in the military. We change the code every 24 hours.
Right. There's a new key code that comes out, and you put the new key code in combination, and no matter what you said yesterday, now it's different today.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like I'm wasting my time studying code, ain't I? Yeah, because it's old code.
Yep.
And now it's new code. You're on the wrong page, sir. What? You're on the wrong page, and you look like a damn fool.
Wow. And that's the thing. You go through all that trouble thinking that you're doing it correctly, and then you get slapped right in the face and made to look like an idiot. Well, an idiot. I shouldn't say idiot there, but it's, make yourself look like a moron because you thought you had something correct and you were way off base.
To me, moron means that you're putting more on than is necessary. Like, why are you talking about being a Vietnam vet? Why are you going on and on about that? Do you realize where you're standing, sir? Do you realize what court this is? Do you realize what, no, obviously you have no fucking clue what you're doing, and you're totally wasting the court's valuable, limited resources and time. And we're not going to tolerate this frivolous shit anymore coming into our court. When you fucking try to come into our court ever again, we're going to fucking make sure that you're not allowed in.
Right.
So they're going to disbar you from fucking appearing in their court ever again. There's frivolous filings.
Yep.
And if you complain to their boss or whatever, the boss is going to say, what the fuck was he going on about? I don't know. He comes in with some Vietnam fucking clap from Hong Kong, Saigon 4. What? Didn't he realize he was in family court? Yeah, I don't know where this guy's getting this shit from. He's wasting our fucking valuable time and our limited resources with this silly Vietnam shit.
Right. Right.
And that's how simple I make it to people. Stop fucking trying to answer their case.
Yep.
You're wasting your fucking time. If you want to answer that case, go fucking hire an attorney.
Yeah, and then good luck with that.
Yeah. Right. Go see when you bid for a contract and you need a bricklayer in the city, and there's only 2 contracting companies in the city, and they're both brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
See what kind of estimate.
And your cousins with the judge. Yeah, exactly.
See what kind of estimate you're going to get. You could get the same building built any place else for $10. Here it costs fucking $1,000.
Yep.
So guess why? because it's a monopoly. It's the only game in town, and you fools think that this is the only option you have. So I'm just showing people other options. Because everybody's like, no other options. It's like, that's right. Because you don't know how to fucking occupy a fucking public courthouse. It's a public building. You're the public. That's a public courthouse. Move your case into the public courthouse. Just like they moved their cases into a public courthouse. The legal society didn't pay for that courthouse. The public paid for that courthouse.
Right.
Right. I don't see fucking attorneys say, well, deduct 20% out of my fucking cut so I could pay for a courthouse. We all got to chip in.
That's right. They don't.
That don't happen. It's not coming out of their pocket. It's not coming out of the Bar Association's pocket so they can build a new building. It's not their fucking building. Oh, and if you go to my website too, I put a fucking plaque, picture of a plaque.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that. Did you see the plaque?
Did you just recently put it up?
Yeah, I haven't touched my website in a year, and I just decided to fucking try to do a little bit of something. You know,
I remember seeing all the pictures you did, when you were up in Canada with the hockey jerseys and things like that.
Right, that was a year ago that I've been up there. It was up to February, March last year. March, April. February, March. I was up there 5 weeks. I think I was there for the last couple of days of February, the whole month of March, and a couple of days in April.
Wow.
So, but what's funny is I put that plaque that the Bar Association, it's presented by the Virginia State Bar Association on May 17th, 1959. So back in 1960, the Bar Association put a plaque at the Jamestown Memorial Church, in Jamestown, because Jamestown was like the first colony, by the English.
Right.
So I put a plaque, the sign that you could go there and take a picture of. It says the common law. It says, here the common law of England was established on this continent with the arrival of the first settlers on May 13, 1607. The first charter granted by James I to the Virginia Company in 1606 declared that the inhabitants of the colony shall have and enjoy all liberties, franchises, and immunities as if they had been abiding and born within this our realm of England. Since Magna Carta, the common law has been the cornerstone of individual liberties, even as against the crown. So when it says even against the crown, they're not talking about the king, they're talking about the Bar Association.
Right.
The crown is the Bar Association, it's not the king. So when you go against the crown in Canada, you're not going against the king or queen of England because they disowned the king or queen of England. The little old lady in England has no control over Canada, trust me. She doesn't wake up in the morning and say, all of Canada must do this. Nobody in Canada is going to listen to that 80-year-old lady. Nobody gives a shit.
Right.
So it says, even against the crown. Summarized later in the Bill of Rights, its principles, the common law, have inspired the development of our system of freedom under the law, which is at once our dearest possession and the proudest achievement. This plaque was presented by the Virginia State Bar Association, May 17, 1959. So the Virginia State Bar Association understands the common law and why the common law is the greatest achievement that we've accomplished as man on this continent, because it protects us from the crown and protects us from the bar.
Yes.
If the Bar Association's admitting it, putting in plain sight, what the fuck is wrong with the common man to not understand common law?
Right.
Right.
And
it isn't like Carl Lentz put this plaque up at the Jamestown colony. The Bar Association put it up. So if I put it up there, they'll call that's just what you believe. That's what you believe. You believe the common law was established here upon this continent to protect us from the crown, the Bar Association. That's just your belief, Carl. It's like, well, the only problem is the Bar Association agrees. Why? Yeah, because they are the ones who actually put it up. Oh, no, Carl, that's your crazy beliefs. Every time I go to court, the judge always says there is no common law. Common law where? In this case before the court, he's telling you the truth. Where's your case based in common law? Do you have one there in front of the court at that time? No? Well, then it does not exist in this courtroom at this time. Admiralty exists. Bankruptcy exists. Divorce exists. Traffic law exists. Common law doesn't exist because you didn't evoke it. You didn't move it into the fucking courtroom, asshole.
Right.
Yeah. But does common law exist? Not at this particular moment in time. Just like the first thing I asked the judge is, are we taking testimony today, Your Honor? No, we're not. Okay, well, then there's nothing for us to say. Thank you. It's like, well, if you don't like the ruling of the court, appeal it. Appeal what? There's nothing being testified to appeal. For me to file an appeal, there must be testimony for the appellate court to review. If nobody's testifying today, if nothing's speaking in court, everything is in writing. I'll just move a claim against what they wrote. And what they wrote on line 7 was the plaintiff was the highest bidder at the auction. So that negates everything from 7 under is void because that's fraud. They didn't appear. I got 5 human beings that will swear and testify under oath that there was no representative of the bank at that auction. And I'm just waiting for the county recorder's office that they shipped it off to the attorney for the county to record the transactions and the events that occurred at the day of the auction. And that takes 6 months. 6 months hasn't passed since the auction. So we're going to have to wait for the attorney report and review of what transpired during that auction on that day. So the attorney's going to have to bullshit and lie for the bank, saying the bank was there. But the only problem is I'm going to bring 5 people of this county before the court because I know all their names. That's going to say, that's not what the fuck happened. And we're going to ask, hey, attorney, were you there at the auction? Because we didn't see you. And then he's going to fuck himself.
Right.
So this is going to be a really interesting report that this attorney's going to have to generate on what actually transpired at the time of the sale, because the attorney's supposed to be there and give a recording of the event of the auction. And there's no fucking attorney sitting on that courthouse steps that day. Gus was there. I was there. Even Gus was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there you go. So now you've got 5 men that are going to testify against a corporation fiction entity and a representative of a corporation fiction entity, and they're not going to come and testify.
Right. They can't because they know they weren't there. And they know I could bring 5 of mankind before the court to show that that did not occur. This is what happened. This is what did not happen. So like I said, but like I said, I got so much fun, good stuff going on right now with so many people all over the world asking me to help them with cases, and that's what I say, man. I always say, like, to Gus and Larry and Mark and Mike, hey, guys, catch up to me, man. Get on board. Stop helping me do this stuff.
That's one of the things I was going to ask. I know that you had some guy, I think one of his name was Patrick from Chicago, to give out emails or whatever, so that we can get small groups, throughout the country. So everything is just directed right back at you. And, like with Gus and Larry and Al and Mike and everybody else that's helping you out, that's what we need to do is spread this out so everything's not thrown right back at you. When we get a question, we have something we're stumped on, then we can come to you and you can give us, your opinion, your advice, and everything else.
Yeah, you said that the man is still. I guess I'll talk to you, during the week and get the man's number and stuff like that, so we're to talk to him. But you said it did bounce from county to county, prison, jails.
Yes, that's what they're doing now. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to. I'm not even sure exactly what court. I believe it was a federal district tax court, the first one, but I'm not sure about this other one. But like I said, I can actually I can have my son call him, collect, or write to him again to get as much information as far as an update as to exactly what's going to be happening, this March 9th trial or whatever. But yeah, and I'll send it all to you.
All right. Yeah, because I wanted to ask that Mike Miller in Canada a question, because I was trying to help some lady with a granddaughter, trying to keep the police from kicking in the door. And, that worked out good because they had a warrant for her arrest and they had a pickup order for the kid.
But the one in Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Guyana lady? Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah. So I told the lady, look, there's a couple things that you have to do. I said, I'm not asking you to do them. I'm telling you, you better effing do it. If you don't effing do it, I'm not going to, don't bother calling me up. Right. And one of the things I told her to do was make sure that you go become a member of a church. I said, where you from Guyana? So either you have some sort of a Catholic upbringing or some sort of like fucking tribal fucking voodoo thing shit going on. I said, whatever it is, I really don't care. But you better go find, some religious, a non-secular faith-based organization to help you.
Yes.
Because I can't see cops coming into a faith-based organization and pulling you or that fucking child out of what they would call a church or a temple or a mosque or a synagogue. I just can't see it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's ever happened in U.S. history. And if it did, and it got out to the public that somebody came into a church and dragged some woman out with a baby, I don't know how this country wouldn't explode.
That happened in Chicago about a year ago. That some some immigrant lady was hiding out in a church, and that's exactly what happened. The cops would not go in, and they actually talked to the priest and finally brought her out. But yeah, you're right that they don't go in there.
They won't go in. They will convince the lady. Look, the church people will try to convince the lady. Look, work with the authorities. You know, it's one of those render to Caesar what is Caesar's.
Yeah.
You know, they'll convince you render upon Caesar's what is Caesar's. That they will try to convince you of that. But like I said, with that lady, it was like she's like, well, you know, I exploded her on my show. I said to her, I said, did you go to the church and ask for help? It's like, no, I made something. Oh, her sister said, no, the church rejected her. The church denied her. The church denied her. I said, bullshit. The church didn't deny her. She said, oh, yes, they did. I said, no, they didn't. He said, oh, yes, they did. I said, look, my sister went out to the Bay Area, and she realized it was going to be like $2,000 a month for a little tiny cubicle called an apartment. So my sister had no place to go with a little dog and her daughter. And said, well, use your old Catholic fucking card, pull that out of your fucking back pocket and throw it on a table. And as soon as she did, they gave her a place to stay. And the same thing happened when she went to Virginia Beach. You know, it's expensive as hell to live there. So she went there and didn't have enough money to secure an apartment with her dog and all this other shit. So the Catholic Church gave her a place to stay again. You know, gave her a set of keys and said, here you go. I said, you know, the Catholic Church, you know, they're the number one healthcare provider in the world. I said, you know, people don't realize that, you know, that they got deep pockets. And as long as you go talk to nuns, you know what? That's all these nuns live for. They help them with a kid.
That's right.
They're doing God's work, which God bless them, they are. So, like I said, you know, I said they'll provide you legal aid, lawful aid. They'll provide you fucking people who know how to talk for you to state and government officials. You might not be able to do it, but believe me, they'll find somebody who could calm the state government officials down. They'll get somebody up there to talk for you. So, yeah. So what was funny is when her sister said, "No, the state denied it. The government, the church denied it." I said, "Bullshit." And then when she came on, and she said, "Well, you could ask my sister. My sister's walking through the door right now." And her sister said, she got on. I said, "The church denied you?" She said, "Yes." I said, "So you went down to your local church?" She said, "No, but I called the 3 churches." I said, "Gus, get this fucking woman off my show." I said, "Look, you know, just get her off my show." I said, "Look, if you people won't do what I tell you to do, it's like dealing with a wife or kids or whatever. Like, you had it up to here. Like, I'm done." I explained it to this woman exactly. I talked to her for hours. I mean, effing hours. Like, I got to move out of this fucking place. I got to get some money up so I could build a storage shed on my folks' farm to get all this crap over my folks' farm, because the landlord's brother didn't like the people I was bringing up here. So they asked me to leave. And that's what I told people. You can't come up here. And people thinking like, well, look, you can't come up here. It's not my place. If they see you coming up the road, and like I said, especially, I knew he didn't like black people, you're not coming up here. So the people couldn't understand. It's like, look, stay in town, get a motel, and I'll come up. Yeah. Well, somebody came up here, and his wife and kids were black, and I didn't know. And I realized, holy shit. If anybody says something, you know, it's going to go around this fucking street like lightning. You know, I don't need this crap. And a couple of days later, they said, you know, we're going to ask you to leave. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I understand. And, you know, it's their property, you know. And like I said, look, I'll get out of here as soon as I can. You know, I'll bring my stuff up to my folks' farm. I'm going to build a little storage unit up there, and I'll get my stuff. And I said, you know what? It gives me an opportunity to get on the road anyway. You know, all my stuff will be safe and secure near my folks' farm. My brother will watch it, you know, like, you know, we watch it for me. It'll be fine. They said, you know what? It's probably working out for the best that I leave this place and get on the road anyway. Because a lot of people ask me to travel all over. I said, you know what? It's probably going to work out for the best. Because I haven't done anything wrong. And if I'm living next to a guy who's that, like, racist, whatever, it's time for me to, and I want to bring people here. Next guys that might come up here might be tutti fruity fucking flaming fags. You know, but they need.
All right. I didn't know where he was going with that. I'm feeling complete. I'm going to end it there. Give me a final word, Justin. I'm going to close up shop. We'll be back tomorrow.
Enjoy your night, man. You have a good one.
Thank you, bud.
All right.
So, yeah, I'm going to probably be on the road tomorrow. So, probably going to be a later broadcast, somewhere around, I'd say, 4 to 7 p.m. MDT. So, a little bit of a later broadcast is what I'm thinking for tomorrow, but still going to be here, barring some unforeseeable act of God or the state, as is usual. All right, folks, resoundingly successful broadcast. Blessed to be here. We got through it, even with the flu-like symptoms. See? A testament to my unwavering, unswerving dedication to service, not only for myself here, but for you folks as well. So blessings to you. Many thanks to the contributors and supporters, Moonbags as well. Thank you for your contribution. I'm out of here, people. Say goodnight to the bad guy. They're constantly double speaking like the snake in the garden, right? Trying to convince folks that if they just eat of the fruit of this tree, that they'll become like God. If you just like opt into statute, policy, and code and like don't, if you just submit, cooperate, and comply, we're all going to be safe, right? It's again the same spiritual archetype of the fork-tongued, double-speaking snake in the garden, trying to convince us to give up our true power, to do the will, to do its will in order to become safe enough that we can be like God. Well, you have to come to the organic, authentic conversion state of choosing a different belief or knowing something different to be true. I can't tell anybody else what to believe or what their conviction is. I've come to a state at some point in my life where I realize I will govern myself. I get to make choices on what I do. No other man or woman in this realm gets to do that. Government only exists because of us. Right? We as men created it. We gave it a limited power in order to uphold our rights from folks who wish to take them. So the moment that they do not fulfill their task, the power transfers back to the benefactor/beneficiary. Government and servants don't get to decide for men and women who has what, when, why, and how. They only get to do that for themselves and folks who identify with that and opt in. Again, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So most folks are ignorant of not only God, therefore they're faithless. They're ignorant of how this system works and the fact that they've opted into with contract a whole bunch of obligations that are advisory for men and women and only compulsory for agents of the corporation. You can't write up state code that's antithetical to the federal code, which is pursuant to the Constitution. That's called an overthrow of the law of the land. People just say shit. It's called checks and balances. Everything has to be pursuant to the highest code, which is pursuant to the highest law. Code is a codification of law. The law of the land is we have a right to pursue our happiness and do whatever we want without causing loss, injury, or harm, and as long as we pay our debts. That's what's known as the common law. And it's common fucking sense. When did the servants get rights and abilities more than the men and women they serve? I'll ask it over and over again. And the answer is when you all opted in and put yourselves on record as agents of this corporation rather than men and women on the land with natural rights, and then you acted like a slave. If millions of you on the road are going to ride around with all of the corporate identifiers and do contract with them willingly, what are they going to say when they come across me? Common practice is now the opposite of the common law, because they're going to go, all the rest of us think we have to do it. Right, you have a belief that you have to do what servants, civil servants, and a corporation tells you to do. My God and my conscience and my balls, quite frankly, between my legs as a man tell me, no, I don't.
God of all media.